Hey guys, it's Elizabeth Wales and happy Valentine's Day. These wonderful people, this wonderful couple shared their Valentine's Day with me so we could do a good workout.
That's how you're supposed to spend your Valentine's Day.
Yeah, she punished us.
It does get your oxytocin up, so we'll have fun later.
Yes.
And we're having our delicious nutrition system recover drinks. My wonderful friend and work associates made this for me. Howie, what is in my drink today? Because it's amazing.
I think that's the Try Recovery, and I mix it with Repair, which is just, both of them are just great for your after recovery, after the workout, the recovery system that helps us to not get crampy and feel better right after the workout, and it provides all the nutrients that you need as you're recovering.
Mm-hmm. And it tastes so good.
Yeah, protein,
It's
a
fruity.
little bit of carbs, it tastes good, yeah.
Yeah, so good. And Sondra, you always have amazing concoctions.
Yeah, this
that you
is
make.
just my, I call it my power punch because it has the greens and fruits and Ionic Supreme for the adaptogens. And I just threw some of my recovery in here and continued to drink it.
Just mix it all together. Get it all at once. I love that.
A little hydrate, It's just because it's a punch and it's easy to, it's really got a lot of stuff in it. And I like to pack, an impactful punch for my drink. It's just all my good nutrients coming in at one time.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Same.
Cheers.
So we're not here just to talk about our amazing nutrition system though, but if you have not gotten your wholesale account set up yet, message me or the person who shared this video with you so we can help you so you don't miss out any longer. We are here to talk about love. Because this is an amazing couple and they have an amazing story, and they also have an incredible message to share with all of us who are not connected with our significant other yet. We're still kind of searching and looking for what we want and maybe have come across a few things that we don't want. So Sondra has a lot to say about her journey, because how long was it before you found the love of your life?
So I actually didn't meet Howie till I was about 40, 42, 41, 42.
Was it worth the wait?
It was worth the wait because there had been so many times I had not received the right, had not found the right relationship, had not found a person who was capable of really being loving, that when I found this with this guy, I told him, I was just like, I always want to spend time with him. I always am, I can't wait for any of our time together. If he's at work and he's just getting home, I'm excited. I always am happy about my time because I waited 40 plus years to have the person in my life who was so much fun and so much joy and so much true love, He's just makes life wonderful in all ways. In my experience, I never don't want to be with him.
Oh, that's so
my double negative. I always want to spend time with him. I give him a break sometimes for me, just so he can have some time to himself. But I'm so grateful, and it's one of those things. If you wait a long time, you understand that this is such a valuable thing. It's not promised that you will ever find something so wonderful to hold on to. So if you get it, you just have to be in gratitude and appreciation.
But what I found really interesting was that you weren't willing to settle for less. And you came across people in your life who had things that our modern society would say that you should have in a partner.
Yeah, so I think that's one of those sort of false things that you have to get past in life. I'm like, I don't know that he ever thought that his ideal person was going to be this, 5'4" black, formerly Catholic person for his white Jewish man. But this was the package that this soul was in, and it's not. And so the thing is, really, it's not about the package. It's about the soul. It's about, and I think so many people are like trying to identify the qualities that they think equal their person. I used to say that I always like to date guys with long hair or dreadlocks.
Wow,
Not happening
Howie.
here. Not happening
But
here.
what did that have to do with the soul of a person? But I found that, or I used to think I needed to date another like creative, artistic, musician or something like that. And I used to look for those qualities, but what it came down to in the end was, what the real thing was I found is I just needed somebody with a great heart. That was that was the real touchstone of the partner that I needed. And so all that stuff that people usually say, the height they have to be, the career that they have to be in, even, the religious identification. Our religious identifications, our religious background growing up was completely different, but our soul agreement on our spirituality is exactly the same.
It's beautiful.
We're equally yoked in that way. I love equally yoked.
And you mentioned earlier about how you knew that Howie's heart was available. What did that look like in comparison to other people who you found that their heart wasn't available?
It looked like people who were like, okay, so this is a perfect one.
Go ahead.
So when
No
you're
idea.
talking to them and they're doing like this, this is not somebody whose heart is invested at all in who they're talking to. They're like, they couldn't care less. But when somebody is really feeling present with you, look at you. Look at where's their attention? It's nice because it feels they can keep their eyes with you. They can keep sharing with you. And so honestly, all I needed to do was look in people's eyes. And it was, you could feel real presence or you could feel lack of it. It became so simple. I was just like, and here's the funny thing. So you'd see so many, especially I just moved to LA. There were so many good looking guys, particularly of all shapes and sizes.
And dreadlocks? Shiny, polished,
good, handsomeness, the way it's supposed to look. And you could be, I'm sure many women were just like face, body, face, body, and thinking that this was, I'm attracted to this. But I became eyes. And all I felt was real presence, someone who's here with me, soul to soul, or someone who was not. No matter what how they were carved or what look they had, it was like, it's not what they looked like, it's how they looked back.
Beautiful.
Did they look back with heart, with something, or with nothing? And that was really instructive because you can feel when somebody's present with you.
And you had your hopes up a few times. You mentioned that something might work out before Howie, before you met this perfect person. But,
perfect for me person. That's the other thing. People are looking for a perfect person. There's not going to be a perfect person.
That's right. But
But there's going to be one who suits who you are. You got to know, can you stand my insanity?
Everyone's
most
saying
of
a
the
little.
time.
Are they open to your passions for life? This is so super important. Are they supportive of your journey on the planet? Because that's everything. Do they want it? Well, they want to see you fly. They want to lift you and see you fly. Do they enjoy you being happy? Those are the qualities that are so important and that I significantly did not find prior to Howie. I just found people who, but they were just wrong for me. They weren't wrong. They were just wrong for me.
But I just love this. Do you see what Sondra was able to do? She was able to say there's an abundance and not a scarcity. There's going to be another person instead of this is the only person we have to make it work.
Gosh.
If this person isn't willing to develop themselves and that's hurting you, you aren't going to keep yourself in a situation where you were hurt. You said, I don't like this, and you learned from each one what you didn't like.
Yeah, because there are 7+ billion people on the planet. And really, you really slow yourself down by holding on to the wrong person, by clinging to the wrong person. All you're saying to the universe is that, I know you can't find me anybody better, so I'm just going to hold on right here to this one. And that's just not, Instead, what you need to do is say, I loved this about this person. I loved this about this person. But this person, I released this person because these other things are not working with me. And then you create this space for the universe to give you, for God, whatever you want to focus on, this this loving presence that we're all enveloped in. You create the space for it to bring you what the values that are important to you. And like I said, I knew I liked intelligence. I knew I liked creativity and playfulness, but the one I was always missing was somebody with whose heart was still full and able to love.
And you guys have had a beautiful relationship. I've known you for a couple years now. And Howie's always posting about how can't I be happy with this amazing woman who wakes up with just this beaming smile every morning, you know? Who couldn't be happy around Sondra and vice versa. Of course,
he forgets
Howie's
to say who wakes me up with her snoring. But go on.
How long have you guys been married now, Howie?
I have no idea.
It'll be 15 years in September this year.
Congratulations, that's wonderful.
September 17th.
And Howie, when you met Sondra, when did you know that this was the lady for your next 15 years and life?
You know, the first few times that we met was at a place called the Agape International Spiritual Center, and just that in and of itself was a really wonderful thing. Again, not trying to preach or to put anybody's spiritual beliefs into anybody's mind out in the ether, but it was so important that we shared the same idea about how to exist on the planet, and that was a place where there just was. And then there's obviously other places of worship or just other groups of people that express love in such an open and honest and just filled with integrity. So that immediately was an attraction. It was not a meeting at a bar. It was not a meeting, you know, on a blind date. It just happened to be that we were both in this place trying to discover and live a life that just filled with love. God is love, in my humble opinion. And so having that as being the tie-in to what we had.
You connected at a soul level.
It wasn't, I mean, and all the other stuff is icing on the cake. The fact that we both found that we love scuba diving and we like to go to movies and all, you know, all those things are really wonderful, but that was the magic.
And we liked IHOP for pumpkin pancakes.
Yeah, that was our first date. We actually, well, we won't tell them exactly where we went for our first date, but
that was part of it. That was the after date.
Yeah, that was the after date. So it was actually very soon, within a few months, that we really fell in love and really just continued to enjoy each other's company.
No, we just had fun right away.
Yeah,
everything we did was fun.
And we've been lucky. You know, just the fact that I think over the years, you know, we've had a few spats, we've had a couple disagreements, but it's just such a rarity. And I usually feel like a cat, and I'll usually be the one to apologize and and come back, because I don't want to ever have this lovely lady angry. But it's been a real blessing to have somebody that, you know, you just find that spirit and that mojo that just everything is. It's easy, and it shouldn't be an effort to live with another person.
I think so too. I agree.
Except at 6 o'clock in the morning when she snores, but that's just part of what we do.
I love that. He makes you laugh. Okay, so one last thing for the people in the dating world. What kind of advice would you give them on? Is it the one or not? You know, they're on Tinder, you know, they're looking.
Question.
What would you say when they're going out? Sondra had like a 3-date rule or something, right?
Mine was usually 3 months, actually.
Okay.
It took, because I'd say, a lot of people, and when they're dating especially, they give you their best side. And they keep trying to hold their best side forward. And it takes about 3 months to see the rotation of I think of it like a planet, the orbit of their complete revolution of their being. You're not completely, but enough for you to know the sides of the person, you know, because everybody tries to, you know, act like they act more tolerant than they are. They act more open than they are when you're initially dating them. And after if you observe them long enough, you'll see what the truth of how they feel about things is. And so for me, that was about 3 months. But also, my advice is don't do that. Just be yourself. If somebody's not happy with you as you, being you, they're not the right one for you. Because
so don't change for anyone.
Don't change. And don't put on the I'm being really good for you persona. Because it just delays you figuring out how compatible you truly are. You want somebody who loves you the way you are. And who has fun with you the way you are. Who enjoys, look at this girl, who enjoys this spirit. Who enjoys this spirit, this playfulness. Who gets you. And so just, be you and and really try to observe who the other person is. And then if you can't stop thinking about them, if you enjoy, can't wait for the next one. If you're not having to go, are they going to call me? Or are they not going to call? If you're not involved in any of those games, you're just about easily talking to each other. No false stuff in between. You're going to feel it's the right one. Because he'll tell you when I first said I love you to him was in the parking lot where he worked. And the truth of that moment was there was not another word that could come out of my mouth. I was standing in the parking lot and I was just like, I love you. Because I couldn't say anything else because that was the truest truth in that moment. And so I had to say it. He thinks it's funny because it was in the parking lot of his work. Ooh, so romantic. I couldn't say genuine. I could not say anything else. It was the truth of that moment was I love you. Yeah. And I did. I loved him completely because he's very lovable.
I think a lot of people think that. Howie, you are a really fun person to be around.
Thanks, Liz.
So how about you? For the people in the dating world, for the gentlemen, what would you say? Everyone's like, well, looking at the outside, of course, and then maybe looking at the checkbook or maybe looking at... So what would you say, because you looked at a soul level, would be really important?
Well, and I will say that also I've been married before, and I think that what I had done is gotten involved too quickly, and even though I learned a lot from those relationships, I think that the best thing that you can do is to take your time. And be really aware of who the person is. And sure, I mean, as men, we're going to, I'm not saying that women don't do this, but as men, it's with the eyes first. And I just found her adorable. That was pretty darn helpful. So that was great. But it was taking the time to really get to know her. And I just want to echo what she said. It's that, we're always on our best behavior for the first few months. It's when things start to get a little rough around the edges and you're tired and you face some challenges, and then you really see the character of that person. And 15 years later, she's still coaching me on how to handle my days and giving me great advice about challenges that we face, and with a big smile and just this worldly knowledge. So if I had not given it the time to develop, I might have felt almost pressured because she was so in so quickly. 100% in. She just knew, and there were times where I said, no, I think I just need a night off to gather my thoughts, and she was totally patient and comfortable with that. And then it just took,
because then I could go look at a UFO video or something.
It just took a little extra time for me to be able to come to that place. But I've never been so respected and supported.
That's beautiful, yeah. Respected and supported. And what I really like about seeing your journey is how you are both dedicated to the personal growth. And you're not afraid of breaking out of the comfort zones and going there, wherever there is together. Yeah. And if
or even individually.
Yeah. And Howie goes with you on your journey as much as he can, and vice versa,
right.
Yeah, so it's just incredible. Thank you so much for sharing, guys.
Thanks for
Happy
including
Valentine.
us on your Valentine. Cupid, doesn't she look like a pretty Cupid?
You're so cute.
Thanks, Liz.
You bet. Please share. We want to bring as much value to as many
Happy
people
Valentine's
as we can.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Have a wonderful day and a lifestyle to thrive. Bye-bye.